You're listening to international investment advisor Doug Goldstein on the Goldstein On Gelt Show, the financial show where we'll talk about how you can make the most of your money. With all the confusing financial chatter bombarding you each and every day, Goldstein On Gelt will give you the practical information you want and need about living a financially stable life. Here's your host, money maven Doug Goldstein.
Okay, we are back. We are talking with Penina First. She's an award-winning entrepreneur, and she's the CEO and founder of Swifto, which is an online marketplace for last-minute needs. Penina, it's a pleasure to have you.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. Listen, the name of the company is a little bit funny, Swifto. Can you just tell us what the company is all about?
Swifto is, like its name, it's for things that you need fast. So the thought behind Swifto is that there are different solutions for different problems that people have in their day-to-day life, but none of the marketplaces that currently exist are designed for things that you need urgently. So if you think about different situations in life where you're really aggravated, whether it's because you were like in a real hurry and you have to clean up your house at the last minute, or maybe you have a party and you didn't have time to organize something, or maybe you forgot something, all of them have to do with last minute. And a lot of these problems can be solved easily with people nearby. Mm-hmm. And the thought behind Swifto was basically to solve those problems by connecting the person who needs something and people around that can help.
It sounds like you probably yourself needed something very quickly. So what inspired you to start Swifto?
Okay, so what happened was that at the time this started, it was a marketplace for last-minute workers where someone, if the worker would call in sick, he would be able to post a request and get a last-minute waiter, last-minute cleaner, last-minute dog walker, etc. And the reason why I was inspired to build that was because at that time, my husband was running a computer lab, and his only worker kept calling in sick. And every time the worker called in sick, my husband was just stuck. And he was a student at the time, so he didn't actually go to the lab. And he had to just close the shop for the day. So it just made me realize that if there would be just a really, really easy way to connect people that need something urgently with other people that can help, it would solve a lot of problems.
So is this now being used more by companies or more by individuals?
It started out by being used by companies, and now we expanded it to individuals. Just recently, we launched a campaign for dog walking. So let's say you're stuck and maybe you're not feeling so well, but you still need to take your dog out to dog walk. Like you still need to take your dog out. So you can't just like go and contact all the dog walking companies and see who's available and sign a contract, because you need someone to take a dog out today. Yeah.
Right.
So that's the type of things that we solve. Like we really focus on things that you would need urgently. And basically it's suitable for so many things and so many problems that people have in their day-to-day life.
So what would be the response time given in the dog walking example?
For example, in dog walking, we commit to find someone at your house to walk your dog within the hour. So let's say, I don't know, your dog is really being nervous and he wants to get walked, but you don't feel like taking him, or maybe you have other commitment that you have to do. From the time you post the request until someone is at your door, it will take an hour.
So this is like very, very fast temp workers.
Exactly. It's like there in a way, if you think about it. So it's a way to solve problems with other people that are looking to earn money, and they want it. Like the people are really, really keen about being dog walkers. As an example, they're looking to earn money. It's a good flexible job. They don't have to commit to anything. And for you, having someone to come take out your dog is like a real time saver, and it's a really, really big thing for you. So it's just a question of connecting the person who needs something and people around that can help. And that's really the key thing to Swifto.
So do a lot of these jobs end up becoming long-term, or are they really only one at a time?
Well, we started this in Israel, and we found that sometimes the employer ends up hiring the person for a longer period. However, those same employers keep on coming back again and again and again because they keep on getting stuck in other situations. So let's say if we speak about a waiter example, So he has an event tonight, and a few waiters called in sick, and he needs someone urgently. So he needs someone for tonight. He may hire that person that he found again and again, but that person, but the catering, the person who's in charge of the company is going to get stuck again, and they get stuck like so often in these situations. So they use it again and again and again for other workers, and then they hire him, and then someone else is like something else happened, and then the cleaning person doesn't come in, and then the bus boy doesn't arrive, and so it's just there's always situations like that, and we just since we know how to solve them so well, so it's just a question of asking for it.
It's an amazing idea. We are talking to Penina First. She's the CEO and founder of Swifto, which is an online marketplace for last-minute needs. But not only is she the founder, she has won a number of competitions as an entrepreneur. She won the Exit 09 competition in 2009. She won the Prime Minister Award for Innovation in 2010, and she was a finalist at the Cartier Women's Initiative Awards just recently. She's been explaining to us how Swifto works. It sounds like it is a quality type of service as opposed to being a low-price provider. Is that correct?
Yeah. The thing is that when you're really looking for something desperately, the price is a little bit less of an issue. Okay. Sometimes when you're in a situation where you just need help, you would pay any price for it to happen. Although our pricing is actually pretty cheap. For dog walking, for example, we charge $20 for a half an hour walk. So it's not like that's a real issue.
That sounds like New York pricing. So you've actually run this company both in New York and Israel?
Yeah, exactly.
So what are the differences?
Oh, there are many differences. First of all, in Israel, you would find people more like into having strangers, and in Israel, for example, we didn't do any background checks or anything, and that was just like very acceptable and very normal, and people had no issues with that. In New York, that's what we started doing, and everyone just were asking, okay, did you talk to the people? Did you review them? Do you know them? And we realized that we have to really know all the people we work with, and we have to background check them, we have to review them, and so that's one major thing that happened that we changed. We found that I don't know, in a way, Israel is more casual than New York. But there are different changes, like in the site we tailored different features for New York and for Israel, so that would suit the basically the environment.
Okay, so in the system, when the person shows up, let's say to walk your dog, do you just hand them $20, or does Swifto get involved?
So you pay us. So when you ask for the dog walk, you say, okay, I need that dog walk to arrive at my house within the hour, which is the typical case. Although you could specify a different time. And then you pay. You put in the $20 in the system. We actively, using technology, of course, seek out an available dog walker. Okay, so we have potential candidates, and we contact them by smartphone alerts, by SMS, by email. Telling them about the specific offer that's just being posted, and then so they one of them, the first person who responds basically takes the job and goes to the client's house. Now the payment has been made already before, so the client doesn't have to pay the dog walker. Actually, he already did, and then the dog walker at the end, he gets paid by us. So he could collect the money through online.
I see. So you're the one responsible to make sure that the payers pay and that the workers actually
show
and
up. Also, if there is any problem whatsoever, I don't know, someone is not happy with how he walked the dog or whatever problem there is, we always make sure that we refund the full price. It's very, very important for us, everyone, to be really happy. And we found that because we have this 100% full refund policy, the percentage of people that are asking for it is relatively low, because we really make sure that we do a good job when we do it.
Okay, so you started this company. You're rather a young entrepreneur. So if you were speaking to other young entrepreneurs, people looking to get into business, do you have one piece of advice that you could share with them?
I have a few.
Okay.
But the first thing I would say is that when this company started, so I was a student. I was 22, and I was studying. I was doing my master's in biotechnology, and I always wanted to start a company. Okay, but you read about it in newspapers and you hear about it in television and whatever, and you think it's like, okay, there's like a science to it, just like there's a science to science, there's a science. You have to write the business model in this and this way, and you have to make a presentation like this and like this, and you have to talk in a specific language. And there's like, you would think that there is rules to it, but while I was in the competition, there were like people that were like very experienced and were like 40 years had a career, and then at the end of the day, I won out of 300 other competitors. So what it made me realize is that it's not about being professional, and it's not about saying the right thing or doing it in a specific by a specific recipe or anything. It's just about really common sense and logic, and in anything. Like at the end of the day, everything about a company is common sense. It's common sense when it comes to how the form should look like. It's common sense to what to write. It's common sense how to treat your customers. Everything is common sense, and it's much more easy than what it sounds like. So that's my advice. And once you realize that, I think you're very, very motivated to do it, because most people have common sense.
Okay. We've been talking to Penina First of Swifto.com. Penina, I just want to ask you, because it sounds like you are using your common sense to start this project. Do you have another project in mind?
No. It's a company. It's I've been working it for 2 years. We're already 10 employees here.
Wow.
I'm gonna be here for a while.
That sounds great. So just tell us in the last couple of seconds, how can people follow you and your company?
So to reach the company, go to Swifto.com and open a request there. Me specifically, you can't really follow. I'm pretty private.
That sounds great. All right. Okay, we've been talking to Penina First, who is the award-winning entrepreneur and founder of Swifto.com. You can learn more at www.swifto.com. Penina, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Goldstein on Gelt Show with money maven Doug Goldstein. Doug's weekly radio show is heard around the world, but if you miss it, you can download the podcast at www.goldsteinongelt.com. The Goldstein on Gelt Show gives you up-to-date financial ideas so you can get on the path to financial freedom. If you'd like your questions answered on the air or off, send Doug an email to doug@profile-financial.com. It's your money for your future, so join Doug every week to build your wealth on the Goldstein on Gelt Show.